fam, this is Teresa again, coming at you with another tutorial. Y'all, it has been in my heart to do something nice for a couple at my church, okay? And so I am going to create a gift box for the thing that I want to put inside, okay? So we're going to get started now. We're going to move this onto the side and talk about that later, okay? So the paper collection that I'm going to use for this is called Hello Hobby. And this is the pastel smooth cardstock, and I believe I got this from Walmart. And it has the turquoise, the blues, the greens, the pinks, the lavenders, and the yellows. Okay, it's a really heavyweight cardstock. I really like it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is cut the size for the bottom of the gift box. Okay, and the size that I'm going with is, let me make sure I'm not cutting that off. All right, I am going with a 6 3/4. Okay, let me put you in frame because I am not doing this by looking at my TV screen because it won't mirror to my phone. Okay, or vice versa. All right, so we got 6 3/4 by 10 3/8. Okay, so we're gonna go half there, and let's see, it's 10 half. Yep, one before the half. That's how I do it, y'all. All right, I'm gonna cut there. All right, now here's something that everybody needs to know, and you probably already know. We're gonna cut a slither off this edge and that edge, okay? Because we want to make sure that the top of the box fits to the bottom of the box without it being snug and too snugly, and you know, it starts bending and everything, right? So we're going to cut, if you guys can see, let's see, right up here to where the white is on the trim. That's where we're going to place our cardstock, okay? And that would be like 1/16 of an inch, which would be that slither that I was talking to you about. All right, so that end and this end. And for some reason, I keep forgetting to do that. And it does not work out unless you really do it, okay? Well, I have found out from my end that it doesn't work out. All right, so we are ready to score, okay? And I am standing up doing this video. So we're gonna score at 1 inch on the 6 3/4 size, and 2 inches, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and score the same thing, actually on all 4 sides, okay? 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, okay? All right, so we're gonna put the scoreboard to the side for now. And before I burnish, what I like to do is mark where I need to cut, okay? All right, so we're gonna cut that tab, that tab, that tab, that tab, that tab off. Turn it around and cut that tab, that tab, that tab, that tab, that tab, okay? You got that? Okay, for those who are following along. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and burnish now, okay? All right, so so I have already made the, hold on, let me go ahead and cut this first. Get ahead of myself, okay? All right, so we're gonna cut these 2 tabs and that tab, okay? So we're gonna cut all the way up to the second score line, there and there, okay? And then we're gonna cut these 2 tabs off right at the second score line, okay? And go ahead and cut that tab off too. I like to cut it like above this score line. And then we're going to put a wedge there and on that end, like that, okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Cut all the way up to the second score line there. And the second score line here. I'm going to cut off these 2 tabs. Okay, and then cut that tab off. All right, and take out a wedge on that end. All right, so that's how it should be looking on that end. All right, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay. Take those 2 out. Okay. All right, and then oops, I should have went ahead. Well, you know what? That's okay. I'm still on task. All right. All right, cut the wedge out. And cut the wedge out. All right, and last one. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, that's right. And then, let's see what I did wrong. No, I didn't do anything wrong. There we go. Cut that wedge out. And there we go. See? And that's the other side. All right. All right. So, we are going to adhere the tabs so the box can look like that. Okay. That is what we call reinforced. Okay. So, we are going to glue these tabs together. All right. And go ahead and glue all of them at one time. Okay. All right, and then we are going to glue it like that, and then make sure that our ends meet right there, okay? And then we're going to press it. And same thing on the other side. Make sure that the edges meet up. Y'all, I got this big old gigantic fly in my craft room, and it's driving me nuts. Every time I go get the fly swallow to do something with it, it flies away. Anyway, we're gonna adhere these 2 tabs just like we did on the other side, okay? All right, and we are going to make sure they stay by pressing them in, okay? Oops, hold on, don't want that. Okay, so we're gonna lift back the larger tabs like that, and we will glue in. Oops, hold on, y'all. Fix that. All right, we're gonna glue the inside of the tabs, okay? So we're gonna start with this one. Come on, there we go. This is some really thick glue. All right, so we're gonna push that tab in, and we're still good there and there. All right, and then we're going to, only thing I'm doing is pressing the tabs in with my bone folder, okay? Making sure that it sticks to the paper, okay? I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side now. All right, so we're good to go. All right. All right, and then we're going to take our larger tabs, and we're going to do this exact same thing. You know what? Should I cut some off? You know what? I think I want to trim a little bit off a little bit more off because I don't want it to get too bulky when I get ready to press that in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue in the inside of the tab, and I'll show you why I did that. All right. All right, you see here, this is why I did it, so I can have some room here on each side, because when I made boxes the other day, I didn't take off enough of the end of the tab, and it was too much bulk when I pressed the tab down to be glued. Okay, and I don't want that again. All right, so last side, and this again is the bottom of the box. Okay, I'm gonna push that in. And we are going to cross our fingers and hope that it fits to the top of the box. That's something that I struggle with. All right, y'all. So I've already made the top of the box offline. All right. So again, this is the bottom. This is the top. You see my little T right there. And let's see if it fits. And it does. Yeah. I'm going to get my eraser. And I am going to, usually I won't get this eraser, but I know my other one is not around. But I'm going to cover that anyway, so I'm not going to sweat it, okay? So now it is time for the fun part, y'all. Yay! So let's decorate this baby, okay? All right, so we're going to go back to these leaves right here. I just cut these leaves out with some my stash of what do you call this paper? Stash. What do you call that? Stash of paper. Goodness, I can't even think about the name. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this out with. I had a lot of white paper that I'm gonna use. All right, and I went ahead and cut this out. Now, as I was cutting this paper out right here, I didn't know that I was cutting the paper from a different shade of white. Right, until I already cut 4 pieces, right? So I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a difference between this shade of white and this shade of white. One of them is off-white, I don't know if you can tell, and the other one is bright white. Well, I wanted the bright white, right? The bright white, okay? So when you're not, when you're using your stash like that, you make sure you have that same. And you want that same color. Make sure it is that before you actually start cutting. Okay, just a quick tip. All right, so and these are the die cuts that I use. I got this from Walmart. All right, got that. All right, I'm sorry, not Walmart. I got that from Amazon. There we go. Okay, and I use these little swirls right here. Okay, and I got this from Amazon as well. Okay, and this is what they look like. All right. Okay, and I might put a couple of butterflies on it. I'm not quite certain where I got that die from. Okay, and I'm going to use this round metal die. I got this from Spare Binders. I think this is the 1 3/8 size. Okay. And these dies right here, this is that for this right here. I got this from, I don't know, Temu. I think it was Temu or Shein, one of them, okay? So that's what we're going to use for the dies, okay? So what I'm going to do, I was going to make some flowers, right? But flowers is not my friend. Making flowers is not my friend. So I went in my stash. And I looked to see what type of flowers that I had that would match this paper, right? And so I found these, right? This is like a a bluish green or something like that. And this wasn't actually the closest that I got. I did have paper that was the exact color as the inside of the green, but I just kept messing up my gift boxes because I'm not a seasoned crafter, y'all. I'm a beginner, like I'm sure a whole lot of you are. And we live and we learn, right? So I had to improvise, all right? Which is okay. So I am going to put these on this box, and the pink ones too. I really like the pink ones because it's gonna pop. And I wanted some more white flowers, so I may or may not put these on. I'm not certain. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just gonna cut up some of these flowers right here, and I think, and I don't know if I want the greenery on it, you know, but we'll see. And I think I got these flowers probably from Hobby Lobby. Okay, now do I want the greenery on it? I'm not trying to. Let's see. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you what. What I'm gonna do now, I am going to set these in place how I want them, and then I will be right back. Okay? All right. Okay, fam. So I have already glued the flowers onto the box. Okay. And so right now, what I'm gonna do is put these little bit of leaves and twirls on the box. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue that on. Okay. And I'm just going to be putting them like on the tips because I want them to, you know, dangle out a little bit. Okay. I was trying to get the flowers in the middle. Let's see, I'll put this one over. So put that there. So have you guys ever thought about, you know, trying to mimic something that you've seen on Pinterest or on another website, you know? You just thought it was challenging, but you gave it a go. Anyway, let me know, and let me know how it turned out, okay? Because I know for me, it doesn't always work out the first try, okay? But sometimes I want to just, you know, quit. But then something in me tells me not to quit, just to keep going, okay? All right, just a couple of more. Let's see, we're gonna put this one maybe there. Yeah, I think the flowers, and usually what I would do is put some like dots, pop-up dots on the tips of the flowers so they can sit up a little bit. But I don't think I need to do that this time around. Okay, I'll place that. I don't want it hanging off too far. Let's see, maybe there, and let me go with maybe this one. On that side. I know I got glue everywhere, but it's gonna dry up. How about that, y'all? Is that okay? All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I need another one anywhere? No, I think that's good enough. All right, so let me see. What else do I have now? Oh yeah, a while back I purchased these stimulation dewdrops. Okay, so I am going to place a few of them on the box here and there. No rhyme or reason, rhyme or reason. Just gonna do it. Okay, so let's just take some out. All right, and just going to go for it. This one there, and of course you see the glue up under it, but it is going to evaporate once it dries. Okay, and you won't even see it. All right, come on. I think it adds a really nice finishing touch to this box. Okay. All right, and let's get 2 small ones. Let's see, maybe that one there. And let's see. And another teeny weeny one. All right, there. Okay, how's that? All right. All right, so we have this tag to put on. I think I'm going to put some of this pink ribbon here. I think I got this maybe from I don't know, Walmart or Hobby Lobby, one of them, I don't know. But we're just gonna cut a little piece off. All right, and all right, and we're gonna just, let's see, place it. Let's see, maybe there. And I know the string or the ribbon doesn't have to be that long. Maybe I cut it off because I just wanted to dangle. Just, let's see how we're gonna do this thing. Oh goodness, let's see. I'm covering up a lot, but anyway, I don't want it to dangle too much. All right, so we're just gonna go like there. And let's see, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on it. And I'm getting ready to burn up my fingers. All right, come on up. There we go. And okay. And let's see how this is before I glue it. All right, we're gonna push, maybe push it in a little bit. All right, put a little glue on the back of it. Yo, we're almost finished with this. And it didn't really take that long, you know? At least it didn't take that long on camera. That's when I was doing the mock-up. I was like, oh my gosh. Finished already. All right, how's that? All right, so the question is now, should I place the butterflies on it? You know? So let's go ahead and get them. Because one represents the man and one represents the woman. All right, so let's see. And I might not need it because I think I already have enough. But I'm going to just, and here I am covering up the dewdrops again. I mean, can you really see them though? Maybe I'll place them here. And there, like, you know, she's following her good man. What do you think? Something's telling me no. Is it telling you no too? All right, maybe on the next project. All right, so this is it, y'all. So how do you like it? All right, we're good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, so thank you so much again, you guys, for you know, rolling with me through my journey. And if you can, please like and subscribe, share, hype me up if I'm there yet. All right, so until next time, Crafty fam, bye.